Students, today we'll see how a Vidal test is performed to detect typhoid fever. Okay, so basically the Vidal test is done based on two different antigens, that is O antigen and H antigen. Okay, the O antigen is nothing but it is the somatic antigen and H antigen is the flagellar antigen, and both these antigens are exhibited on the surface on the cell membrane as well as on the surface of Salmonella typhi. The somatic O antigen, the test for detecting the O antigen is usually done in Felix tube, and flagellar antigen is usually done in Dreyer's tube. The Felix tube is a conical bottom small test tube. It's a test tube with a conical bottom, and Dreyer's tube is a small test tube with rounded bottom. So the test tubes are designed so in order to distinguish between the different agglutination patterns produced by O antigen and H antigen. In the case of O antigen, somatic antigen, after agglutination, it forms a compact chalk-like powdery deposit which can be easily detected using a conical bottom test tube. And in the case of flagellar antigen, it forms large, loose, fluffy colonies which can be detected easily using a round bottom test tube. Okay, so the typhoid fever is basically caused by three organisms. The typhoid fever is of two types. One is typhoid fever and second one is paratyphoid fever. In the case of typhoid fever, we'll be detecting the H antigen and it is commonly caused by Salmonella typhi. And in the case of paratyphoid fever, we have two different types of paratyphoid fever, that is paratyphoid fever A and B. Salmonella paratyphi A and Salmonella paratyphi B causes the paratyphoid fevers A and B. So the antigen representing Salmonella typhi is designated as H. The antigen representing Salmonella paratyphi A is designated as AH, and the one representing Salmonella paratyphi B is designated as BH. So basically the Vidal test is performed in two different methods, that is a qualitative test using a slide, and quantitative test is otherwise known as tube test. So first we'll see what is slide test. So basically we'll have a card and you will have circles marked in the card. So to each circle we'll be adding a drop of antiserum. AS denotes antiserum or the patient sample collected for diagnosis, and to the first circle we'll add the O antigen, to the second one H antigen which represents the flagellar antigen of Salmonella typhi. The third circle is being added with AH antigen which represents the flagellar antigen of Salmonella paratyphi A, and in the last circle we'll be adding BH antigen which represents the flagellar antigen of Salmonella paratyphi B. So a drop of antiserum is mixed with the corresponding antigens, and after mixing you can see a agglutination formed in the circles. See, in the diagram below I have shown agglutination in all the four circles, but in actual scenario we'll get agglutination in the O antigen because somatic antigen is basically the same for all gram negative organisms, and in the flagellar antigens, that is H antigen, AH antigen and BH antigen, we'll see agglutination in any one of these circles, that is either H or AH or BH. So if you are diagnosed with agglutinations in O and H antigen, it means you are infected with typhoid fever. If it is with O and AH antigen, it denotes that you are infected with paratyphoid A, and if it is O and BH, it shows that you are infected with paratyphoid B fever. In usual cases, a patient shows positive for either typhoid fever or a paratyphoid fever. So this is the next, will come to the quantitative tube test. So once the qualitative test is performed, next our aim is to determine what is the extent of infection. So the antigens which give positive agglutination is further subjected to quantitative test to identify or diagnose the severity of infection. So usually this quantitative tube test is also done to find out what is the antibody titer. See, this is very important during diagnosis of a patient sample. So antibody titer is nothing but it is defined as the lowest dilution of serum which gives a positive agglutination in a visible manner. So we are doing or performing the quantitative tube test in order to determine the antibody titer of a given patient sample. So from the slide test, we'll be selecting the antigens showing positive agglutination. That is, see, in the case of typhoid fever with Salmonella typhi, agglutination will be seen with O and H antigen. In the case of paratyphoid fever with Salmonella paratyphi A, agglutination will be seen in O and AH, and in the case of paratyphoid B, agglutination will be seen in O and BH circles. So O antigen, it is the somatic antigen which is common or basically seen in all gram-negative organisms as they contain an outer membrane rich in lipids. So now in the quantitative tube test, usually we'll be doing test with O antigen and the one which have the flagellar antigen which have shown positive result. So here you can see in the right side we'll take 8 test tubes, and to these 8 test tubes, to the first tube we'll be adding the antiserum which is diluted in a concentration of 1:20. That is, 1 part of antiserum is diluted with 20 parts of saline. From the first tube, it is serially diluted to the second tube. So we'll get a dilution of 1:40. From the second tube, we'll show a dilution of 1:80, and serially we are serially diluting the antiserum to get dilutions up to 8 dilutions, that is 1:20, 40, 80, 160, 320, 640, 1280, and finally 2560. So the antiserum is serially diluted to 8 dilutions, and to this all the 8 tubes will be adding a known fixed concentration of antigen. That is, in the case of typhoid, we'll be adding the H antigen here. In the case of paratyphoid A fever, we'll be adding paratyphoid AH antigen. And in the case of paratyphoid B fever, we'll be adding BH antigen. Okay. And after adding the corresponding positively agglutinated flagellar antigen, you just mix well the tubes and we'll incubate it at 37 degrees centigrade for 16 to 24 hours. After incubation, the next day you can check for agglutination, and we'll have to find out the tube which shows the least dilution tube which shows a positive visible agglutination. So in the given diagram, I have shown agglutination until 1:160 dilution. So that 1:160 is our antibody titer or lowest dilution of serum which have shown a visible agglutination. So the result will be given as the antibody titer of the given sample is 1:160. And see, if you see the agglutination in the first tubes, that is 1:20 or 40, the severity of the infection is taken very less because the antiserum is diluted just a little. But if you see the visible agglutinations towards the end of the dilution, that is in 1280 or 2560, it means that the severity of infection is worst. So that particular, accordingly, the physician will be selecting the antibiotic regimen for the treatment of that particular patient. And this is how you will perform a Widal test in qualitative as well as quantitative method.